Let us pray. God of heaven, thank you. Thank you for what you have done in our nation. Thank you for our individual states.
Man that is greater than already.
Wait in the tea room. Miss. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, honorable ministers. $23.39. Stabilization account is 83,495,784,133.4 million naira. Natural resources account stands at 125,818,396,257.4 naira. That is what we have as at 17th of September 2025. Thank you. Thank you.
The issue of flooding is becoming one of the worrisome phenomena in Nigeria. And therefore, today, Council was briefed by the National Security Advisor on anticipatory action framework for riverine flooding in Nigeria. The objectives of the anticipatory action framework include, but not limited to, protect vulnerable households, enable timely and dignified interventions before flooding peaks, focus on equity, ensuring no community is left behind, amongst others. Council has commended the Office of the National Security Advisor for the work done as reflected in the presentation describing the framework as comprehensive and visionary. However, Council resolved that the scope of the framework has to be widened in order to include more states and submit final document for ratification at the next meeting of NEC. Most importantly, Council has also considered the inclusion of measures that will be taken to ensure medium and longer term sustainable solutions that will prevent flooding or reduce the flooding rather than the shorter term non-sustainable solution. On a final note, the presentation was good and states were advised to step down risk communication to vulnerable communities via state channels such as state broadcast, radio town halls, and strengthen state emergency management agencies with funding, equipment, and training to lead effective responses. Thank you very much.
National Economic Council also received briefing by Dr. Tayo Aduloju, who is the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, on the 31st Summit, Nigerian Economic Summit, which is taking place at Transcorp Hilton between the 6th and 8th of October 2025, with the theme, The Reform Imperative, Building a Prosperous and Inclusive Nigeria by the year 2030. The summit is an operation between the Federal Ministry of Budget and the private sector, and this is the 31st edition. And the included in the theme are elements including the reform landscape, policy direction for sustainable development, inclusive reform imperative, noting the uneven global growth, geopolitical tensions, rising climate geopolitical tension rising, climate and technological shifts, demographic shifts, as well as inflation and policy. And this summit is taking place at a time when we are reviewing the National Development Plan, which the 2021 to 2025 plan is finishing by December, and therefore we are developing the 2026 to 2030 plan, as well as other elements that have been approved already. Mr. President, have already called upon us to achieve a $1 trillion economy by the year 2030. The National Economic Council have approved a number of initiatives, including the Renewed Hope World-Based Development Program. So all this will form part and parcel of the discussions at the summit. The Chief Executive duly notified the Council of the invitation to both Mr. President, His Excellency the Vice President, as well as Excellencies respective governors of the states, so that it can be an all-inclusive and vibrant discussion that will help shape the future of Nigeria's economic discourse. Thank you.
Your Excellencies and Honorable Ministers, members of the press, today I have presented to the Council a memo regarding the constraint affecting agricultural production and the potential they have in exacerbating the fragile food security system the federal government has been trying to resolve for the last 2 years. This memo was as a result of the same memo I presented last week at the Presidential Food System Coordinating Unit Steering Committee, which is also chaired by the Vice President, and he asked that the same memo be presented to the Council for consideration. The major recommendations in the memo include the following. Government should give equal emphasis to optimizing fertilizer costs, perhaps through the prioritization of the mandate given to the Presidential Food Security Coordinating Unit to liberalize fertilizer cost. 2, also to make available small handheld implement for small-scale and subsistence farmers who are invariably too low in the ladder to immediately benefit from the tractor program that is being implemented. Also, the memo also recommends that the chairman of NEC, which is the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, should respectfully remind Mr. President of his directive during the special NEC meeting held in June 2024, where he ordered NEC to ramp up production and also seek his approval to fund the production of between 50 to 100,000 forms for distribution to state on need basis. The Council resolves as follows. 1. The Council resolved to promptly tackle the challenges of high energy costs and the fertilizer prices in the country. 2. The Council also resolved that directed the Minister of State for Petroleum, Gas, to interface with the stakeholders in the industry with a view to addressing high costs and availability of gas domestically and report back to the Council during the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And then the last briefing is from the Honorable Minister